Welcome back. It's been another month, and I do apologize for that.
Recording in
I'm
progress.
just now hitting that record button because it's a twofold button, isn't it? Anyway, we're back. I am I am as ever your constant professional host of this show who doesn't make obvious glaring mistakes because I'm the DM and I can retcon them into fact. Speaking of mistakes, let's start with the person who has caused the most damage in our game to kick off the introductions. No, you're the last one.
Oh, good. Okay.
No, we're starting with Kyle this week, and he knows why.
I would like to say I am the Bob Ross of this RPG group that's just a bit more drunken. I don't make mistakes. I make happy little accidents that become entire plot lines.
At an alarming rate.
Yes.
You have picked a fight with 3 NPCs.
Pick a fight with 3 NPCs that are also leaders of nations.
Bugger now has a vendetta against you. And through him, most of the other artificers and crafters.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Giles. I wasn't able to get you that date with. I should never be a
Tell us who
matchmaker.
you are and why I'm going to drop a rock on your head. Not your character, you. I am going to fly over England, dropping rocks till I get confirmation I got you. Don't know how I'm going to do that. It's going to break all kind of international law, but I'm going to do it.
But knowing my luck, the first person you hit is going to be me.
Okay, I am Kyle, and I'm playing the walking breaking of Geneva Conventions. Is my character Joseph Lucerno, the Soul Knife Rogue.
I got the list of war crimes you were building. I didn't throw that away.
Oh, it's only on one sheet of paper. That impresses me.
It's really tiny handwriting.
It is scattered all over the place. There's probably another half sheet around here somewhere.
There are another half sheet. I would have thought it would have been like a butcher paper roll, just like unscrolled.
No, you didn't have that much time. You just kickstarted a handful. Who's your character?
Joseph Lucerno, the walking Geneva Convention break. Soul Knife Rogue.
The next person who kickstarted today's chain of events would be Arches.
Yo. Hi, I'm Arches. Today I am playing the man who believes he sees all. And in this situation, he wished he didn't. The mastermind rogue, Fey Wanderer Ranger, knowledge domain cleric, Vivi.
And the person who is actually completely innocent and pure because he wasn't available last session. So therefore, he can't be held responsible for current events. Jesse.
I'm Jesse Crumb, also known as Crumb64 on all levels of the internet. I'm playing Jarlath the Tor, the blue dragonborn fighter sorcerer. Now, and might as well add innocent champion Jarlath the Tor to his title now.
Yes. I have gone on record as saying that Giles is such a pure soul. I think that while he would probably get into a fist fight with a toddler if it challenged him, he would then buy that toddler a drink afterwards. That's how good of a person he is.
That's on par.
Okay.
So, I probably think it's like, oh, the dwarf made up a good fight.
That's how I see it coming out. Okay, so a very, very quick recap. Once upon a time, a group of adventurers strolled into a castle with the pure intention of saving a dragon who was kidnapped by an evil princess. Gilith and the dragon and Joseph, along with their companions, helped to throw her out a window leaving Gileth with the crown. The castle and the surrounding countryside did everything in its power to drive Gileth absolutely mad. It did not realize that was already a little bit of a lost cause, but again, Gileth's purity kept it completely restrained to just nightly unicorn hunts. But they could never quite corrupt him. And then during the yearly opening for an opportunity, and partly encouraged by Gileth, for a new person to take the crown, Joseph uppercutted him through a window and took the crown for himself. Joseph was immediately corrupted by this power. Full on evil dictator. Yeah, let's just round up all the necromancers and put them to work, whether they want to or not, type of, everything he said, the land corrupted, but he just kept putting out new orders. Until Vivi, finally realizing it was going to go too far, attempted to use magic to get him to give up the crown, but instead he decided he was going to give up the rest of his humanity. And that's when, in private, each one of them came to me and said they were making a run for the Well of Chaos to take the power source. I'm sure they figured out over the past month that's what happened, but I'm officially saying the both of them came to me, private message, yeah, I'm going to try to take this away so he can't use it. I'm going to try to take it so I can become a full-on dark god, because why not? That brings us to today. Gileth, you have been wandering the halls of the castle, as is your normal routine. I don't know what Gileth does on a daily basis when he's not hunting unicorns, honestly.
I imagine he just goes into like auto patrol.
Okay.
Because it's just like he's a soldier, so where it's like if he was not given an assignment, he just assumes like, oh, it must be my turn to patrol.
That makes sense. So you are in you're on your patrol, and you see an open door, and there is a man sitting at a table. He is wearing fine traveling clothes, not overly expensive, but comfortable and clean.
And is it just open like a slit, or is it just like an inch or more?
It's
door
like
open?
completely open, like
completely open. Okay.
Yeah. It's like an invitation almost.
Giles just kind of pokes his head in. Do I recognize this figure at all as
No,
I
you do
peer
not.
in?
No. He's completely average looking. Like, if anything, it looks like he wants to offer you great customer support.
I mean, Giles just kind of pokes his head in. Can I help you by chance?
Yes, you can, Lord Ator. Please have a seat.
And he just thinks, oh no, he doesn't know the news. And he just happily just kind of sits down, puts SOS to the side.
So he just says, in all my years of doing this, I have never met one such as yourself. Completely uncorruptible. Even though you no longer wear the crown, I have never met a mortal who is more deserving of respect and honor. And he puts out his hand to shake.
He just like kind of hovers his hand. He's like, and you are?
Unimportant.
I'm Mr. Unimportant. Nice to meet you.
He just chuckles at that and says, I am actually here to offer you a gift, Lord Ator. Your freedom. If you leave this castle and these lands tonight, before the mist and close, you will be safe.
I don't. What do you mean my freedom? I wasn't a slave or any by chance.
No, but you are dangerously close to becoming a prisoner. But if you leave now, before your once friend and ally can seize the power of the well, you can escape.
But what is required of me? Anything specific?
No, you've already earned this honor. You are the only person I have ever given this warning to. It's quite rare to meet one such as yourself. But your friend Joseph, he has completely given in and wishes to seek the true power of this land. And once he does that, it will return back to whence it came. This land will have its lord, and it will have its new prisoners. If you leave, you won't be one of them.
Jello just looked down for a bit. How much time do I have?
That depends greatly upon Joseph and Vivi. They are each preparing to race for the power, and it is not an easy task. They must prove themselves. But I would say by sunrise, this land will no longer reside in these realms.
I thank you for this gift. I wish to at least, if I truly feel it is my destiny to leave, I wish to at least say goodbye to my friends before whatever takes them. And I asked where are their whereabouts now. Are you aware of that?
They have not yet entered the well. They are making their preparations now, so they are still within the castle.
Thank you. That's all I need to know.
Well, the offer is all I was going to give. Free will must always take precedence in these matters. Farewell, Lord Ator. I do not feel
What?
we will ever meet again.
Safe travels, Mr. Unimportant.
He just smiles and walks into the darkness, fading away. And now we begin the race. I want each of you to roll me initiative.
Seven.
Six. Damn it.
5.
Wow.
Wow! That's why I paused for a moment. It's like, could we not get any closer?
The dice gods are actually smiling on you three right now. Because the way I was going to do this was the difference in your number was going to be the amount of round head start anyone had. So, that means we are going in the order of Joseph, Vivi, Gilith. Joseph getting the first round action. And Gilith will have to wait 2 rounds before he can even enter the well.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, I would. Sorry.
no, go ahead.
I would assume it's the VB is spending this round pensively looking at his old chest before getting into his old vintage gear.
Yes, that would make sense. When it becomes your round, you can describe the choices that Vivi has made. So, Joseph, you have charged directly into the well. It was not even a challenge to find. It was like it was waiting for you to want to enter. As you enter, there is a large room that has a pair of statues that each are holding up their hands. There is a green flame in there. Go ahead and do it. I know you want to.
Green flame!
I will say that before we fully get into it, this was drawn a heavy inspiration from the Goblins comic online from Ellipse. I forget their last name, but the Well of Darkness inspired a lot of this. I made some changes to it for time and art style, but they get all the credit for this. So the two statues, one appears to be an elf, and the other one a gnome, but they are of similar height since they are statues. And there are 3 doors that you can see. As you enter, there is a flicker in the flames, and a large man is standing before you. He has a bluish tint to his skin, a long beard, and he says, "I am the caretaker of the well. My name is Mr. No. I can be summoned by calling my name. When I arrive, I will answer one yes or no question. This may be done 3 times. After that, if I am summoned, I will try to kill whoever is around. And before you ask any version of my name, such as nowhere, know how, I don't know, it all counts. If you speak it out loud, I will appear."
Got you.
And with that, he vanishes. There are 3 doors available to you, left, center, right.
I will go to the left.
Okay. You are taking path 1. All right. So you enter this room. It is a hallway. It's about 40 feet long, which means unless you dash, it will take you, more than 1 round to get through. At the far end, there is a curtain, and about 3/4 of the way down, there is a door. I would say at about the 30-foot mark, there is a door. I'll let you move your... Well, we're going to say that was your full round, because that would have been your action to get there. Vivi, do you want to describe how you have entered this competition?
Vivi is not wearing his mask and is basically wearing a full battle garb of leather trench, leather armor, greaves, everything in a variety of blues, blacks, and reds. His black hair with red streak slicked back, and his goatee neatly trimmed. In one hand is a shield with a crest with the letters BV, and hanging off his shoulder is a long scythe.
Phoebe, as you enter the well, you see the exact same setup. The flames flicker again. Mr. No appears and gives you the exact same speech. He waits a moment to see if you want to ask any questions while he's there.
Vivi waves his hand and goes, "Thank you."
He'll nod and vanish. There are 3 options. One door is already open, and with your perception, you do see a shadow in that doorway.
Vivi's going to tuck down and basically see if he can figure out see if he can use his skills to figure out what would be the best option.
I mean, it's 3 doorways. One of them's already open. There's nothing to decide. There's no advantage to be gained, unfortunately. You can follow after what could be another contestant, another person in the well, or you can take the unknown options.
Vivi is going to follow, but as he does, he's going to cast Invisible.
Okay. That is going to be your full action. And because of the order, we will go back to Joseph now.
Yeah.
Joseph, you'll get to go right after Joseph again.
Yeah.
All right, Joseph, you're in the hallway. If you 30 feet down, there's a doorway, and the hallway goes on to a curtain section that's about 10 feet beyond that.
Well, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to throw a Psychic Blades attack into the curtain to see if there's anything beyond that.
I'm going to say that this does kind of make the curtains sway a little bit from the energy, but there's no sign of anything behind there that would have come out attacking you.
Good. Then I'm going to run for the door, and I'm going to slip into that.
The door is locked.
All right. Well, I think that using my psychic attack acts as a full action then, so...
If you're a rogue, don't you get dash as a bonus action? You can still make it to the curtain section.
Yeah, I'll dash through the curtain section then.
As you dash through the curtain section, there is, and let me try to find my images. I was sure I had some. I was going to drop off for you, but that was a month ago. So, here it is. Good. I am going to put this into chat, and I will describe it for our viewing audience. There is a cutout of a man who's very simplistic, a big purple nose, slight smile painted on, and yeah, that's what you see. And behind him on a peg is a key. You're looking at image 1 here, by the way.
Well, I guess that's my turn then, because...
You would still have a free action. Like, picking up the key is a free action. But that will be the end of your turn.
I'm not picking up the key. I'm going to let that be the end of my turn.
Okay. Vivi, you have just entered into the hallway, and you see Joseph rush down as he throws the curtain aside. You can see that cutout, and you see him just kind of pause there. You have your full action available to you.
BB also being a rogue will dash.
Okay. I want you to roll stealth with advantage.
Yeah.
And Joseph, because you were dashing, what is your passive perception?
13.
Okay.
That's a 24 on stealth.
Okay, you manage to move quickly without making loud clomping steps.
Yeah.
All right, that was your movement and bonus action. What is your action?
BB is going to slip in, but he's keeping his distance from Elizano, and basically just keeping an eye, seeing what he's going to do next.
Okay, so basically you're both standing in front of the cutout man.
Yeah.
Okay. Giles, you have just entered into the well. Again, Mr. No appears before you, gives you the whole speech one more time. He feels like he has had to do this repeatedly, so you're getting the, oh dear God, another one type of speech. Like, so any version of my name spoken out loud, no, nowhere, no how, it summons me. Do you understand?
No way!
It does not count if I'm already in your presence. You are safe.
Oh, sorry.
No, not a problem. I am here now if you have any questions. Yes or no only.
A trick question?
No. And he vanishes. That does not count against your 3. That was just the entrance. Well played. Giles, before you are the 3 doors. One is open. The left one is open. The center and right are closed.
I will go to the right.
Okay. As you run... oh, sorry, that one was the middle one. As you run through the right, it is unlocked. And there is a... sorry, we had a friend chat. Okay. Tink, you have no idea how very meaningful those unicorn dancers are right there for our game. Okay, as you run through this doorway, it is about a 20 by 20 room. No, actually, it'd be more of a hallway.
Yeah.
At the end, there is a pillar with a skull on the top that is casting out a glow. You are not currently standing in that glow, but it does have
Okay.
a little bit of an ominous feel to it. You still have your full action.
Okay, with this glow, is it just like only centered on the skull, or is it just like coming like a
It's kind of
sphere
like a
from it?
cone. So if you want to
Oh,
go
okay.
through the doorway on the other side, you will have to pass through the light. There's really no way to avoid it.
Gotcha. So before stepping in, I'll just speak up. Joseph, you in here, you motherfucker!
How loud are you?
And it's like, I would just say like just to the point where yelling but not screaming.
Okay. I'm gonna say that didn't quite carry over to Joseph.
Gotcha. As much as we loved our hallway talks in the castle.
I know I'm very tempted to, but I'm trying to think about the layout, and no, it did not carry quite right.
All right.
It's a tesseract. It's in fourth dimension. It doesn't have to follow physics in third.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna give it to you. You can hear each other, but it is coming from all parts of the wall. It's not like you don't know where the other one is.
Ooh, I've got your stereo.
Stop using words that I don't know the meaning to. So I imagine like this conversation happened as Giles is now walking into the room.
Yeah.
Now with just like SOS like ready.
Yeah. So I'm going to say if you want to, no, I made everybody else stop their action at the beginning of the room. So we are back to Joseph standing in front of the cutout man.
I have rope. And I have rope and pitons. I'm going to attach a piton onto the end of the rope and use it to get the keys.
Okay. Let's call that a dexterity check. It's going to be a little bit of a tricky one, but let's just see what you roll.
17.
17. Okay, it takes you a moment. I'm going to say that, Vivi, you are watching this whole thing, and you definitely have time to interfere if you want to do anything.
Nope, he's watching and waiting.
Okay. Joseph, you are able to tug the keys over to you. You don't have to step within 5 feet of the cutout man. You just pull the keys right on past him. It doesn't move because it's just a plywood cutout. You get the keys. You can go over to the door and unlock it if you choose.
I will do so. And once I'm on the other side of the door, I will lean against it, keeping my weight right there, because that was a creepy, freaky plywood cutout.
And
you don't have stuff like that in the middle of a room without it being enchanted and alive. So it's just like, shit.
And as you're doing that, I kind of imagine it's like, you're kind of looking, closing your eyes, trying to center yourself. As you open your eyes, cutout number 2 is at the end of this 30-foot hallway. There is still another door, and then there's a cutout. This is cutout number 2. It's a little more lifelike. It is. I'm going to bring up the picture so I can see it again. Yeah, the grin is a little more detailed. There's teeth now. There's a few more fingers on that waving hand, and the eyes are a little bit there's a little bit more of a, like how a good artist puts that little bit of lifelike glimmer in there. There's a touch of that. I'm going to say you still have about 15 feet of movement in this 30-foot hallway.
I'm just going to keep my eyes on that thing, just
Okay.
watching it.
It does nothing.
That's it for my turn because I have gotten the thing. I've dashed and there.
Yep. Vivi, the door has been shut behind him. What do you want to do?
He's going to check his spell list.
This is so much harder on me because I had to write up multiple pathways and knew I was going to have to run this in segments. So please acknowledge this is difficult as hell for me, but I did it to myself. Much like when I invited you people.
Vivi is going to try and gently open the door.
Okay.
And slip in without being noticed.
Okay. Joseph, you absolutely feel the door behind you nudge just a little bit, but then it closes back under your weight.
Yes, I'm surrounded by them.
Okay, Vivi, that was your free action. If you want to struggle harder to open this door, you can. But you probably know what it feels like when it's like this was embrace. This was definitely a little bit of push and then push back.
He stands and ponders for a moment. He's going to wait.
Okay. Then we will jump over to Gilith. Gilith, you're standing before the skull on the podium. It's got that ominous glow about it. You were holding your sword. You were wearing your gleaming armor, which seems to even have a slight glow to it, even in the darkness. Is just perfectly shining.
Alright, are you one of these talking skulls, or perhaps the great evil upon here? We can make this a lot faster. Respond now if you talk.
Sorry, what was that last part?
Respond now if you talk.
Okay, there's no response.
The silence is killing me. Then he just takes a hand axe and he'll just try throwing it at the skull.
Okay, give me an attack.
Gladly. It's been so long since I used an axe. I haven't used it since I went to school. All right, that's going to be 14 total.
14. Okay. I'm going to say that you do kind of hit the axe, not enough to fully dislodge it, but it is clear that it's on a handle and it's apparently loose enough that it can be moved. But you didn't move it enough to, to create a spot of darkness, a pathway of darkness. It's still completely lit, but you now know it is not fixed to it. It's like set in there, and that was your action. You do get 2 attacks, so if you want to throw something else at it, I would allow that.
Second axe.
Okay, throw the second axe.
Second axe goes 11. Worse.
11. You missed it completely this time.
And he's like, and he's not going to do it, but I imagine he just grabs his trident. It's just like, I don't want to throw you, but either I throw you, you become pokey. Either way.
If you want to give up your movement, I will let you do one more of those. But
yeah, I imagine now he's just trident in hand and just like using his full movement, but now it's like really slow.
Okay.
It's
so
ready.
Are you walking into the light with your trident out?
Oh, hang on. Trident in hand, door shield in the other, then going in Spartan style.
Okay. Because of that, you are keeping yourself in shadow as you go near it. You can slip around. Once you're on the other side, you see that the skull is on a grip like a mace. But because you went in properly, there's no effect from the light.
Yeah, so just like what is whatever he is his full 30-foot movement. Where does that get him?
That would be you would be next to the door. Let's say the pillar was 5 feet, 10 feet away from the door.
Yeah.
You're right in between there. You can open the door and go through.
All right, I will do so.
Okay, that will be your full action. So back to Joseph. Something just tried to open the door behind you, and it wasn't the cardboard cutout man in front of you because he hasn't moved at all.
Are there is there a way from is this a straight up corridor, or is there anything that I can like use as a stealth tactic in regards to this?
I mean, you could bolt and go behind the curtain, but that would be crossing the cardboard cutout man. But you could make it and hide behind that. That is the only real option that you see. There is another door, but going by the earlier logic, you don't know if you can open that door right away.
Okay. I am going to toss the key to the cardboard cutout man, and I'm going to run past him to the curtain, and I'm going to stealth. And because I have that armor that you and I talked about with the false Hydra,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to try and use that to my advantage that I am just completely forgotten about.
Okay, go ahead and give me a stealth check, just so we have a number to work with.
So that is 14.
Okay. And as you pass the cardboard cutout man, you hear this faint whisper, "Hello."
Goodbye.
Okay, that was you, Vivi. The pressure against the door feels like it went away.
He's gonna quirk an eyebrow, but slowly slip in.
Okay. You see the number 2 cardboard cutout man, and that's it. There's a curtain. There's a doorway.
Phoebe's gonna look around. He's gonna scan the room.
Okay. There's a doorway. There's a cardboard cutout man. There's a curtain. Like, this is a very barren place. There's low light, but there's enough for you to see everything. The light just seems to be magically there.
Phoebe doesn't like this.
He can backtrack and go a different route.
He's gonna go up. He's gonna move up.
Okay. The room's only 30 feet long, so that's not a problem.
Yeah. And he's gonna take he's going to take. You said there's a curtain and a door.
The door is about 10 feet away from the curtain. The cardboard cutout man is right next to the curtain.
Vivi's gonna go up to the door.
Okay. It is locked.
He's gonna get out his lockpick and get.
Okay. You can try to open the door.
Yep. Okay. Use tools. That's going to be a 22.
Okay, I'm going to just roll to create a difficulty for this. Ooh, and I do apologize. I rolled very high. This is a complex lock. But that does remind me, Joseph, you do see another key hanging behind the curtain. I will give you an opportunity to do whatever you want with that as your free action.
Vivi, no, internally size, steps back and is going to. Well, he's used his movement.
And you've used most of your movement. You still have a little bit, and you've used an action to try to open the door.
Yeah, he's going to make his way to the curtain.
Okay. As you pass by the cardboard cutout man, you hear, "Hello." Do you go past the curtain, or you just go up to the curtain?
I'm going to go past the curtain.
Okay. Vivi, you see Joseph standing right there because there's nothing for him to hide behind the curtain.
Vivi rolls his eyes and just slips to the side.
Okay, you're both standing there. We're going over to Gileth again. All right, Gileth. You are standing in front of, and these were.
I swear to God, we Giles is going to reach the end first by the end of this.
I've got my notes, but after a little while, they get a little bit scattered. Okay, I was probably supposed to actually keep the Well of Darkness module open in front of me as well, so I'm opening that now. But Giles, basically, what you were standing in front of, and I didn't make a picture of this one, I don't believe. So, just give me a sec to pull it into the right spot, because I am jumping all over the place here with this module. Wasn't that one. It was not that one. I didn't think I'd gone down this far. Okay. All right, so what you are seeing is you are standing, the wall around your door is red. In the center is, and this is about 10 feet out, it would be a pretty decent jump to try to get to it, is a hanging platform that is blue. It's about, let's call that 20 to 30 feet long. 10 feet past it, there is a blue door.
So red room, platform, elevated, right?
It's hanging on chains.
Hanging on chains. Okay,
Yeah,
and
there's
then
2 chains. So you can definitely tell it will start swinging if you jump on it.
Must resist red room joke.
And what is this? This is between Gileth and the platform, and also to look towards the door. I might have a
Yes.
spell for this.
Sorry.
Say I may have a spell for this,
Okay.
depending on the distance.
Let's say the whole room is about 40 feet long. That's 10 feet in between the door and the platform will be about 20 feet. So if you think you've got a spell for that, you can try it.
All right, so Gileth will make the attempt to jump towards the platform.
Okay. I believe the rules on long jumping, you should be able to make a 10-foot jump. I don't think that's even going to require a roll on your part. That is your movement. I'm also going to say maybe you need to take 5 feet of a running start, so let's call that 15 to make the jump safely.
Yeah.
All right. So that puts you, 10 feet into the room. There's now 30 feet between you and the other door.
Misty step towards the door.
Yep, that works. You safely step on the other door. You hear a little bit of a clatter up above the at the top of the chain as these little metallic things are starting to come out, and they are a blue color. But you are safely at the other door, having used only 15 feet of movement.
I imagine the moment he hears like clattering on the chains, he just like looks up for just maybe a second and just sees movement and just goes.
That is, yep. It even mentions in the module that that's one that there are ways around this one, and you found one. Yeah, you go straight through the door, and let me scroll past a couple pages to the next part.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Sorry, you weren't able to open the door. This
Yeah,
is
just
something
like
I forgot about.
Yeah,
There
just when I
is-
initiate that. Yeah.
Okay, on the door there is a mirror and what looks like a figurine of an archer shooting at a target, and it says on the door, "The bearded man fires his arrows, proud that he'll never miss, but he'll never walk through the door until the two dragons kiss." Now the figurine of the door of the archer, it does have what looks like some nails driven through it, but anything else you'll need to decide for yourself what you're going to do.
And are these like engraved like into the door, or are they just like planted onto the door?
I'll tell you what. Give me an investigation, and I will describe it in more detail.
I almost rolled for intimidation.
Tell me your secret door.
I just looked at and like that one, and it's like. I think. Well, I don't want to say this is the first time you rolled for investigation, but it's been
It's
good
been a
while.
Yeah.
All right, that's 10.
10. All right, so this looks like it was painted on, and with a 10, that's really all you're able to get from it.
Gotcha.
It's still a free action if you want to try to do anything to it, but then we'll move on to Joseph if you don't have anything.
I do not have anything, so I'll gladly end my turn there.
Okay. So, Joseph, Vivi has just walked past the curtain. He's carrying a scythe on his back, which is a different weapon for him.
Actually, he's invisible right now.
You would have become visible when you tried to unlock the door. That was an action. Sorry, forgot to say that.
Sorry.
So you're both
Well,
looking
it's not
at each
like-
other.
Yeah.
It's not like I wouldn't have known that somebody just came into the room as well because the curtain moved.
Yeah.
I could hear some. So
It could have been the cardboard guard, man.
yeah, but when it's not behind you, it's kind of obvious. I am going to reach out and you can see something flash between Joseph's belt and his hand. And then he jumps back and grabs the key on the wall. And he just looks at you and goes, "Why? Why follow?"
I had a plan. Unfortunately, it failed. See, even the greatest plans sometimes have a folly.
I don't even think of myself as the greatest person.
Vivi adjusts his scythe. So, what do you want to do now?
Well, I was going to just throw a smoke bomb down and try and run, but seeing that you're grabbing a scythe, I am just going to try and see if running past you will work. And with that, I'm going to run and dash. And as my free action, I'm going to put the key on top of the finger of the plywood cutout.
Okay. How far are you running?
As far as my movement will take me.
Okay. In that case, Vivi, you do get a attack of opportunity as he passes if you want to. He's moving a total of 90 feet, leaving the key behind.
Vivi shrugs. If this is initial plan's going to work, he's not going to. I'm assuming he's not going towards the door.
Well, I mean, it's a hallway, and he said he was running his full speed away from you, so he's going back to the other room, basically.
Yeah. Vivi sighs, just lets him pass.
Okay.
Yeah. Vivi didn't actually grab himself, he just adjusted his life. It's been hanging over his shoulder this entire time. So he's going to look, turn around, look up at the hand, take his scythe in both hands, turn it point up, and try and flick the keys off the hand.
That won't be a problem. It's got a decent key ring on it. You can very easily obtain the key.
Yeah. He pulls the scythe in, takes the keys, just scythe back on his shoulder, goes up and opens the door.
Okay. You can go on into the next room with your full movement. And in that room, let me get the next picture. Because there will be, as always, there's like two pictures. I didn't divide 1 and 2 on these. So let me get this up, and then I will describe it for everybody. So it is the same, well, I'm not going to say the same cutout. It is so much creepier, and why won't you just paste? Okay, now it's a shirtless man, more fingers. The smile is even bigger, but the cutout is becoming more grotesque. The hallway is much shorter now. It's only about 20 feet. And there's no longer a curtain, but you do see another key, another door. You've kind of learned this routine by now.
Yeah, Vivi just doesn't even pay attention. Vivi is a desert of the Shadowfell. He does not even flinch with the creepiness. And he just walks past and grabs the key.
Okay? And as you walk by, you hear it say, hello.
Vivi looks but moves on.
Okay. I'm going to say it's going to be your full movement to get to the door, so you can't go through this door just yet. We are going to go back over to Gilith. Gilith, as you are trying to figure out the puzzle, more of those little metallic things are crawling down, but they are still a good ways away from you. You're not feeling any threat from them just yet.
Right, so I guess first he'll just going to use brawn before brain, as he usually does. So he's just going to try to just shoulder check into the door and see if it can force it open.
Okay, go ahead and make a strength check for me.
All right, that is a 20 total.
20 total. I'm going to do like I did before and roll to see. And it is a very well-made door. It creaked, but it did not give. It's probably magically sealed.
Damn.
And if you need me to repeat the puzzle, I can, because it is written out in front of you.
Yeah, please do.
All right. The bearded man fires his arrows, proud that he'll never miss. But he'll never walk through the door until the two dragons kiss. And again, there's a mirror on one side, the figurine of a bearded archer firing arrows into a target.
Till the two dragons kiss.
I like this. I like this one. This one's really nice.
Yeah. The mirror is positioned in such a way that it is reflecting the archer, if that helps.
Second attack, shoulder the door.
Okay, try to shoulder check the door again.
All right, 21 total.
21. That doesn't beat the DC that I created, but I'm going to say that as you're slamming up into it, the painting has shifted slightly. And with that, I'm gonna say it's safe to jump over to the other ones. Joseph, you have just ran out of the room, leaving Vivi. You're back in the other room with the first cutout. And you heard Vivi taking the keys, but he's only now opened the door.
I pat the first cardboard cutout on the shoulder and go, try not to hurt him too badly. And I just dash all the way back to the main foyer to go in through the center door.
Okay, we're going to say that's going to take all of your movement this turn. So, Vivi, you are opening up the door. You just saw the third cardboard cutout man. You took the key, and it said hello, and you went through to the next door. That's how I remember it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me pull that paper back up. And there, when you open this door, you see the fourth cardboard cutout man, even more twisted, smile even bigger. This room is very short. It's only going to be about 10 feet in length altogether. But another door, another key, another creepy cardboard cutout man.
Vivi goes past the door. Past the car cutout.
And again, without its painted lips never moving, you hear it say, hello.
Vivi walks past but stops and goes, Mr. No?
Mr. No appears.
Am I supposed to speak to the cardboard cutouts?
You see, you're doing this in a weird way for me. He's only supposed to say yes or no. And what you asked is kind of I'm going to roll for which answer he gives you. All right, you're going to get a little bit more than a yes. You don't have to talk to them. And he vanishes. That was one use of his name.
Vivi grips his scythe, looks over his shoulder and goes, hello.
Nothing happens. Except I make a note.
That's never good. Vivi walks by, grabs the key,
Okay.
moves to the door.
You have enough movement to walk through the door, and I will describe what you see, and then we'll go on to the next.
Yeah.
So I am going to take the final cutout picture for you. As soon as I find where the copy is, there it went. No, why are you doing this to me, computer? Do right. Make me seem like I'm a competent person.
Computer says no.
What you see is no longer a cardboard cutout, but about a 7-foot twisted monstrosity of a man with nails in like where the cardboard cutout pictures were. And this is a 40-foot square room, and it starts to run at you as we go over to Gilith, who shoulder checked the door. The image on it turned slightly askew as you slammed into it this last time.
I imagine the kind of jostles, kind of like quickly just like it's to make sure it didn't fall. Like,
No,
is it just like so? Just like it just saw it move just completely.
When you put your hands on it, like trying to stop it from falling, you realize it's on a swivel. It can turn left and right, not like outwards, but around.
Oh, okay.
Your investigation just wasn't good enough to see the seam.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I mean, with 10.
Yeah.
But yes, there was a seam.
Just got lucky in this instance.
Yes. You could have solved this if you had rolled just a little bit higher, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Makes
it's on a
sense.
seam. It can spin around in a circle.
Right. So if you just start rotating it first to the right, at least 90 degrees, unless he hears a click.
As you are spinning it around, you see that the image seems to adjust ever so slightly in your perception. And as it turns around, the bearded man holding a bow looks very similar to a dragon with its wing up over its head. The bearded face becomes like the ridges and horns of a dragon. And as it touches the mirror, the two dragons kiss, and the door unlocks. The platform is now full of all these robotic insect like things that are gnawing on the chains, and the platform is very close to falling, but that's not your problem. You're not on the platform. Your door just opened up. And I'm going to say that would have only counted as a free action, and you can go through. And as you go through, I'm okay. Here's the part I can read to you. This is a wide, clean stone well, stone stairwell. It looks ordinary aside from two fluctuating walls of blue energy that extend from floor to ceiling across the whole stairway. The blue walls glow and has sort of a look of frosted glass. There is another doorway at the bottom of the stairway.
So before he takes another step, Joseph?
You're now far enough away. It's getting harder. Joseph, I want you to give me a perception.
$21.
Okay, you two can communicate.
VD's here.
Where's her?
Left-hand corridor, possibly dealing with plywood monsters.
I'm worried.
Don't worry, he's got his own way of dealing with things.
I thought more just try to stop listening.
So, Giles, you still have your movement available to you, and you haven't technically used an action yet.
All right, so just grab the seam just one more time.
Okay, there's a stone stairwell that is going down. There's like what looks like two glowing panes of frosted glass. There's about 5 feet in between them, but you will have to pass through them to get to the bottom of the stairwell. If you try to go backwards, you're going to run into the army of metallic insects that are chewing through chains.
So go to it and just just with using his trident, just poke at the planes, just make sure there's not trapped.
No, nothing happens to the trident as you start to poke it through the first one.
Right, and he'll just make his way through. If he has to force his way through, he'll gladly do that.
Yes, you can walk through. You got about 5 feet before you reach the next one.
Right, repeats the process. Ting, ting.
Okay, as you walk through the second one, you go out the first one. So you are now facing the doorway that you just walked through.
Oh, motherfucker.
That would have been 5 feet of your movement to complete all this.
He's now just going to take a hand axe and just throw it at the plane.
It goes through the plane. And then as it goes through the other wall, it flies back at you. Roll an
I would-
attack against yourself.
Gladly.
I love
was
that
hoping for that.
Gylith wound
I
up with the most
hoping for that.
intellectual of the puzzles. That's just
Yes.
perfect timing.
And Vivi's in combat.
Right, that'll be a 10 total.
Okay, so it does not hurt you. It bounces off your armor, your shield, or it doesn't even hit you at all. You can describe it however you like.
So I just imagine it's just like. Oh.
Yeah.
And just that moment where just like he caught the handle, but the blade is just like.
I like that.
So where it's like it's good. It was goodness distance from the body, but just like almost forgot the handle.
Yeah, like, oh.
Nice to see you again.
I hope he got it like this. That way you can say clap your cheeks.
Just shut it.
It's the legitimate part of an act. The cheeks.
All right. Turn your voice mod off, Blue, and you're not talking to Jolly, please. It's just a little distracting.
Sorry.
No problem. Gylith, you still have 25 foot of movement and 1 attack action.
She's just in a moment of just like, I would love to do a running charge, but Giant is smarter than that, so
Not by much, but
I imagine it's just like he's gonna put his like, get down on the ground and just like, investigate around and see if there's like a pathing that he needs to find. Like, is there like a button or something he needs to push?
Give me a perception check.
Oh boy, I'm really good at those. Yes, with a 10.
Nope, there's no buttons. All you know is that you can pass through the first plane, but if you pass through the second plane, you are going to come out the first, as evidenced by your own acts proving that point.
Yes. Hmm. He starts trying to turn the pane to the right.
Your hands will just pass through it when you try to touch it.
Why does it have to be puzzles? And I'll end the turn there.
Okay.
Vivi smirks.
Let me go back to Joseph. You are now back in the main entrance. You said you were going to go through the second door. The second door was absolutely the worst one for you because it is locked.
I pull out my thieves' tools.
Okay. Make a check to unlock the door.
So
Let me roll back to another section of this module.
14.
14. It's going to take you a moment, but you will be able to
No, wait.
unlock it.
No, wait, 11. It was an 11, sorry.
Oh, 11.
Yeah, jeez.
All right. And in that case, we're going to let you have the devil's options here. You can fail and not waste the rest of... you can succeed, but it will cost you an extra turn to unlock this door. Or you can take that failure as an action and go one of the other pathways that are open.
I'll sacrifice a turn.
Okay. Vivi, the big amalgamation human thing is running at you. It stops after 20 feet, though, and just stares.
Vivi looks back. His almost creepy crimson eyes glaring straight at him. And since it was going for the Tesseract theory, Joseph and Jylith will hear one word boom from Vivi's voice. Deanimate. As he casts command.
See, this is one of those weird little things where this was written without a whole lot of notes to it. I do not consider this thing to be animated in its current form. Well, to be more specific, there the way it is created, it does not. It's not able to obey that command, basically. But it is no longer attacking you.
Vivi is then going to try and slip by him.
It makes no move to attack you. It turns to watch you. Like I said, it is now flesh, and you can see those nails that have been driven through it at different shoulders, hips types of spots. But,
Vivi's gonna look for a key.
All right, let me check my notes. Yep, you're able to just take the key and leave. Sorry, I have to go through so many different things here. Yep. You are able to just pass right on through. It'll take your full movement, and your action was already spent.
Yeah.
But yeah, this creature will make no attempt to stop you at all. If anything, it will just kind of wave at you as you go through the door.
Vivi looks over, smiles, waves back, and walks through the door.
Okay. All right. So, going back to Gileth and his never-ending puzzles. I really like how you guys seem to pick the right door to challenge you the most.
It is where Charlie gets an idea, and it's like, wait a minute, it's all about perspective. I'm sure of it. If anything from the previous puzzle, I just needed to go backwards. And just be safety, I'll do it with my eyes closed too. And he'll walk through the plane going backwards and his eyes closed.
Okay, you pass through the first plane. You're just going to keep walking backwards?
Yep, just keep walking back.
You re-emerge through the front one, and you bounce off the wall.
And then he'll quickly just look around, and after he feels the wall, he just did it work? All right, there's gloves out of my wheel. Sorry.
Yeah. The DM is going to tell you your idea was half right, because I got to give you some clue after 3 attempts.
Yeah.
You were not 100% wrong with your attempt. I'm going to say you still have 15 feet of movement if you want to try anything else.
Okay, so either the eyes or backwards. See if we win it. Wait a minute.
I'll also let you make intelligence checks just to see if you can put the things together.
I just say before I do the roll, I mentioned that he was about ready to think, what if I did somersaults? Like, no, I threw the hand axe and that one was rotating. Alright, so I'll roll for the intelligence. 14 total.
14. All right, that's actually pretty good. So you know that you can pass through the first plane and you wind up in the middle. Anything that passes through the second plane is going to come out the reverse side of the first plane. These are things that you know, so you have to pass through the first plane to even attempt the second.
All right, so Gileth will walk through the pane normally.
Okay.
And then he'll get to the middle, and then he'll just do a 180 and go back.
And that was it.
Yeah.
You have successfully completed the Doors of Confusion, which is their actual name. And you are now able to reach the doorway at the end of this hallway. At the stairwell.
Yes.
Okay. I'm just going to make the assumption that you are going to go on from there.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay. So we will go back to Joseph, who was picking the lock on the middle door. And let me describe what you see as this door finally swings open. There is a room that was apparently the site of a battle. There is a corpse on one wall. There's two doorways, and there's like some magical tentacles that are coming out between the two doors. On the wall opposite the corpse, there is a shimmering white portal. And there's quite a bit of debris lying around.
Is the corpse facing the portal? The white portal?
Yes, it is. And there's like scorch marks that imply that someone, killed him with magic. Considering there's actually scorch marks all over the place, somebody had one heck of a magic duel in this room.
I'm going to use my rope with the piton and try and get it around the corpse's waist. And I'm going to chuck him into the door with the light, going, go towards the light. Be free.
I'll tell you what, I'll let you accomplish that with no rolls if you want to spend your full action of doing this.
Yes.
Okay. So you basically walk over, you loop him up, you swing him around, and fling him through the portal. The corpse, which you assume was an elf based on the proportions of it, flies through the portal. The rope, there's like a little bit of the rope still out. That was your full action. I hope it was well spent. Vivi, you have just walked through the doorway. And at the same time as you're walking through your doorway, Gilith comes through another doorway. You are now in the same room. There is the hallway that you both are standing in. There, in the middle of it, there is a stairway, and it's got all these twisty, gnarled fingers kind of poking out of it.
Oh. Joseph.
Yes?
It's me, Vivi.
You see him like the trident and shield in the other hand. And...
Yeah, Vivi raises his shield, adjusts his scythe. Please.
It's a mere puzzle. All right, I can solve this one. I've gone through so many of these.
Oh, you poor boss! You got the puzzle route.
You know the puzzle route, don't you?
Mr. No appears. This is your second time calling me. Ask your question. I've been waiting for this.
I had like 5 Gilith's responses, each one more idiotic than the next at the same time. Give me a moment. All of them are like horrible decisions. All right, so Gilith will respond. Is what presented before me a puzzle?
He looks at you very confused as he looks at the doorway with the stairs and looks at Vivi. Yes?
Damn it, you're
And then
excused.
he vanishes.
I mean, I am rather confusing and puzzling, so he's not wrong.
All right, Vivi, if that is your real name.
Well, technically, yes.
Don't tell me I have to guess your name, too.
Oh, no. Oh.
Mr. No appears. I heard the letters, no, the syllable no.
I went, not.
Sorry, you said enough of it for me to hear it.
Crap.
Mr. No appears. This is your third and final time to summon me safely. Ask your question.
Is there any way to convince this man through logic that I am what I am?
The questions need to be about the well, not the individuals. He's unable to answer that question.
Am I near the heart?
No.
Crap.
If you
Thank
call
you.
me again, I will kill you. And he vanishes.
Well, time to put those elocution lessons to the test. Jyleth Ator. I am Vivi. But if you require my name, my full name is Von Vladimir von Wagner.
Okay, so we get positive Wagner. So if we take all these letters and we separate them, then we can probably find the most comprehending of these letters, and we can find the common name. Therefore, we can find your true name, and therefore we can progress through the door. So, see, if VIVI.
Vivi just rolls his eyes and walks off.
Okay, let me give you a little bit more about this room. In the hallway that you were standing in, there's a lot of green moss. It's giving off a faint glow. The stairway going down, like I said, there's just all these creepy gnarled fingers. If you want to go down the stairwell, let me know.
Vivi is going to attempt the stairwell.
Okay. If you are moving, I'm going to say if you're moving slowly, you won't have to worry about touching the fingers.
Vivi is moving at his usual methodical pace.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to say, let's call it 5 feet to get to the stairs. That gives you 15 feet. You can move down the stairs.
Yeah.
I want you to make a dex save for me on step 9.
Dex save. That's a 16.
16? Okay, you just barely managed to not fall as one of those stairs was an illusion.
Huh.
And
Have I used my action?
no, you have not.
I'm going to cast Detect Magic.
Yeah, there's quite a bit. Let's see, that one that you were just on, the fingers all around you are magical. And yeah, that is it. I'm also going to say that with your hearing, I'm trying to find the actual note on here because this is the note staircase. Okay, sorry, I'm really having to jump all around to accomplish what I'm doing. With your passive perception, though, you hear some scrambling sounds that are coming out through the darkness. And with that, Gylith, do you have anything you want to do this turn? Because you two are now going to be on one action, basically.
I imagine for comedy reasons, I imagine he is still like scribbling down like all the letters and like trying to decipher the puzzle.
Okay.
Still following Vivi, but that's like that's what he's passively doing. It's trying to solve.
I'll tell you what. Give me an intelligence check for this puzzle you have created for yourself.
Gladly. 13 total.
13. No, it's definitely not that one. So you have to start over and all over again. Joseph, because you really had to just throw this all in out of proportion. You backtrack. You just threw the skeleton through the portal. What do you want to do?
Wait. So it's just the two doors, the portal and the tentacles, right?
Let me pull it back up, and because I seriously chopped this dungeon up, and okay. So, yeah, there's like other accoutrement. It's like this might have been somebody's living room for better sake of anything else. Like, yes, there's a couple of books. There's this really disgusting finger lying on the ground. The corpse you just threw through the portal. Some goo. And all right, in front of one of the doors, there is like some thick iron bars that are embedded in the floor from the ceiling to the north wall, blocking the passage. A large round throw rug lays carefully spread out at the center of the floor, and it has yellow lettering that was once a vibrant color but is faded and dusty over the years. And I think I wrote this out somewhere. 1 second. Because I was going to do this in a different order. Okay. No, I'm going to reverse that a little bit. I'm going to say that when you step onto the rug, you hear a booming voice. Welcome to the test of common sense. To pass through this door and obtain great treasure, you must answer this question about a universal truth. Be sure to state the full answer. Here is the question. Which is true about Kremdar? He smells like poo. He's really mean. He wets his bed every night. Or, and you hear another voice that says, Eldof, what are you doing? Oh, nothing, Kremdar. I'm not doing anything. And then the voice is cut off.
Going to perform an investigation check.
Okay. What are you looking for specifically?
Clues to this riddle, because that sounded like a person who travels with him either as a party member or as a servant and is just really upset with his boss.
All right, give me your check.
A 9!
A 9. It was just a recorded voice saying, basically, give this universal truth. So you've got nothing more to work with there.
My choices were wets the bed, he smells like poo. What else? I just step on the recording again to get to that point.
Yeah, let me just go through it again. I don't mind doing this. All right. A, he smells like poo. B, he's really mean. C, he wets the bed every night. Or D, and that's where he got cut off.
See, the common sense answer would be C, because every single multiple choice answer is C. It's always C.
Nothing happens as you answer C.
A?
Nothing happens. But with 2 guesses, we're going to go back over to the others because I need to keep this fair.
Okay.
So, Giles is still working on his puzzle. Vivi, you can continue to go down the stairs, but you also hear something coming up after you.
The Vivi is moving there slowly, keeping his eye on, using his magic on the stairs to make sure he sees any illusionary magic, so he can skip over those steps.
All right. I will tell you that there will be no more illusions on the steps, so you don't have to worry about that one.
Yeah. But also, Vivi's going to keep his eyes open for what's coming up.
Yes, you do see a swarm of rats that are coming up. They will reach you very shortly. Are you going to keep going down the stairs?
Vivi is going to move back
Okay.
and step over the illusionary step and wait.
Okay. Gilith, what are you doing?
I would like another check at the puzzle.
Okay. I love that there's absolutely zero check, real thing I can give for your mental puzzle.
So with 18, the way I determined, so after it's like, it's I. Therefore, if you have many eyes, and the eyes in all places, it all makes sense.
The only person who can give himself a puzzle and the correct, a relevant DC, you figured out. Vivi is
And it
standing
did-
before you.
he just looks at the paper and it's like,
Now I'm going to roll initiative for those rats.
it's that moment, it's like, I'm waiting for my reward, and then you just hear the sounds
Yes.
from the stairs.
Here comes your reward. Rat
Your-
form.
Your
Dang
reward
it,
is a horde of rats. Come.
All right. Because Joseph just got here, so the rats rolled higher than all of you, so they're going to attack Vivi first.
Of
Right,
course.
would they have to make a dex check for the step?
No, because they're a swarm of rats and they can just go right around it.
Crap.
It's almost like this is a dungeon and they exist here.
Yeah.
They're on home turf.
So, Vivi, does a 15 hit you?
No.
Okay. The rats do no damage to you this round. But because you've both had your opportunity to figure everything out, we're going to go back to Joseph, and then we'll let you commence your combat. Joseph.
B, all of the above.
That is the correct answer.
Yes.
Hold on, I hit the wrong button. No, I don't want to end this room. Okay.
I'm sorry, but it's mildly frustrating because I got these puzzles pretty much straight off the bat, and it's like I'm sitting there trying to be quiet. Be good.
I know. They are a combination of kind of. Anyway, this was like the worst combination of people to take on the puzzles.
Yep.
Okay, Joseph, the doorway opens to you, and you walk into another room. This one has another doorway in front of it. This is where there is another. As you walk into the room, there's another recorded message for you. It says, "Welcome to the test of wisdom. To obtain great treasure, you must answer this question about a universal truth. Here is the question. Who is a total douchebag that refuses to listen to anyone and just does his own thing even though his ideas are really stupid?"
Maybe sneezes. Sorry.
Joseph just raises his hand.
You're literally the only person in the room.
And then he'll go, me,
Nothing happens.
or Krondar.
And when you answer Kremdar, the final doorway opens. As it opens up, you see Vivi being sworn by a horde of rats.
I
And
imagine Joseph.
Gilith having just completed this weird puzzle on the wall that has various spellings of Vivi's names.
Yes. I imagine Joseph said the earlier line just to amuse himself.
Now that you are all in the same space with the rats, we're going to assume normal order. Vivi, it is your turn. You are the one sworn by rats.
Boom. Vivi is going to spit is going to quite gracefully spin his scythe around and bring it down.
Okay.
Does a 17 hit?
17 does hit.
That is going to be 11, 14, 16 damage.
Okay. You cut through quite a few of the rats. They are still around you. And that means it is Gilus' turn. Gilus, Vivi is being swarmed by rats, or you can just go down the hallway. Or the stairway. With the creepy fingers.
Rats, please.
Alright. Because they are literally swarming around Vivi, you know you need to be really careful about how you hit, or you're going to hit him too.
Trident, hind axe, lightning breath, SOS.
This is his own puzzle.
Another puzzle is brought. All right, so using SOS, but I'm gonna use it. You're gonna use the cantrip Green Flame Blade in an attempt to try to hit the rats.
Okay.
So, first swing, 18 total.
18 total. That hits.
I gotta roll a bunch of dice here. So bear with me. I rolled 19 total.
19 total. I picture it like this. It's like a moment of warrior zen. You just sort of close your eyes, feel the power pulsing through your sword. As you slash, Vivi, you see this big flaming blade come down off you. But somehow Gilith just cuts through the rats, defeating the remainder swarm that was on you.
He looks over his shoulder. Appreciate it.
Anytime. And it's just like the green flame is still like on the blade. He's like,
Okay. And with that, we're going to just put it back at the top where we'll say, Joseph, you are there with your two allies, compatriots, people who are attempting to steal your power from you. You have your action now at this time. There's the creepy hallway with all the wriggling fingers that are very similar to the one you saw back in the other room. There's moss glowing all around you.
I just look at them, and then I go, no, you could have just thrown your rations. It would have saved the energy.
I want you to really think about who you're talking to.
I point at him. You! Do whatever the hell you want. Him? Seriously? Which point I'm just going to take off my backpack, grab out a thing of rations, and toss it at the fingers just to see how they react to foodstuffs flying at them.
As the food stuff touches the fingers, they seem to mold and decompose rapidly.
The food stuff or the fingers?
The food stuff.
Okay. Well.
Oh, and Vivi, while you're seeing magic, the moss seems to have a slight magic to it also. It was sort of glowing, so I kind of forgot to mention that.
Vivi looks over his shoulder. I didn't need to test the hands to understand that going near them is a bad thing.
But it's good to see how they're a bad thing. That way you have a deeper understanding.
Or you could just use common sense.
With a 14, I start inspecting the moss to see if any of it is in the form of a doorway.
No,
or at least could be covering up.
No, there's no hidden doorways. It's just a pretty straightforward one.
Well, we either need to destroy the fingers or destroy a wall.
The fingers are, you can, if you're careful walking down the pathway, you won't touch them. Yeah, it's wide enough that you can do this without touching them, but you also just saw your friends fighting off a swarm of rats, so, take that for what it's worth. I realize I'm asking Kyle to take the simple solution here.
I am going to place down 2 days' worth of rations just outside the hallway, and I'm going to walk very carefully through the fingers.
Okay. So, at half speed, basically? Mm-hmm. Okay. Make a dex save as you take your 9th step.
18.
You manage to avoid the illusionary stairway, the illusionary step, and you're able to go on. As you get to the 12th step, I need you to make another dex save.
16.
Sorry?
16.
Okay. You had just put your foot down on a pressure plate, but you pulled it back before you triggered anything.
Good.
And that will use up the remainder of your foot, your movement this time.
Your foot?
Yeah.
Not the Modron foot again!
So
he walks past. He's just hobbling through. Damn it!
Yeah. I did forget he does have the Modron leg. He might be able to make some use out of that. But anyway, nope. You've got. I'd say you got about another 15 feet of steps ahead of you, but it is now Vivi's turn. Oh, and
Vivi,
you think you might hear something scrambling at the bottom of the staircase.
Vivi walks forward.
Full speed or half speed?
He's going at half speed.
Okay. You already know to avoid the 9th step.
I was actually on the 9th step when
you said you backed up to fight the rats.
It passed. You basically stopped at just before the illusionary step. So,
okay, that was my misunderstanding then. But anyway, you can go slightly past Joseph then. But I'm going to need you to make a dex check. I want both of you to make a dex. That's called a dex save as you try to pass each other without bumping the other one into the fingers.
24.
24?
7.
Joseph, you take 5 points of necrotic damage from these fingers.
Oh, I take half then because.
Sorry, that was not like you're going to take full damage. This wasn't like an area of effect type of thing. The dexterity save was to not get bumped into them. So.
Okay.
And I'm just going to pull up to make sure that I'm doing this right for the... yeah, that feels right. Make a Constitution save for me also.
4.
4. Okay. I'll remember that. Joseph, Giles, it is now your turn. You just saw, literal diseases starting to form on Joseph as he touched the fingers.
feeling I have nothing on my person, but I wanted to check as a player to make sure that I really indeed had nothing on my person that would assist him in this situation. I just meant he just let you look to Joseph Beaver. He's like, should I swing at the fingers?
Just be very careful around them. Don't swing at them. Just don't touch them. Restraint. Like you're riding on a horse.
Jyla just like moment of just like restraint. A word that is not much in his definitions of many things that he does in his life. But he obeys and just like holds his breath and just like slowly maneuvers.
Okay. I'm going to say because you've seen the ninth step, you're not going to have to worry about that one this time. I figure you guys aren't trying to get him to fall. So, but when you reach where Joseph is, you can either go past him or you can make that same dex check to see if you bump into each other.
So it was a duality. It's like, which one is funnier? It's like, no, let's actually be successful. It's always a duality with this character.
I mean, I'm surprised he didn't just jump straight down the stairs. You know, like, I'll just skip them all.
It was a thought.
I'm glad it was there.
But once he saw the possible consequences, that's what held him. If he was like, hey, the water's fine, nothing would have stopped him. All right, so I'll roll for the dex.
Okay.
Do I need to make the dex save as well?
Let's just call it a dex check this time. Right now. So
that's how I know when. That's when I know when Joseph has become to the dark side. He starts talking that valley talk, and he's like, "No, I must slay the great evil."
Exactly. Okay, so the good thing about a dungeon like this is the parts that I'm not using now I can use later. So what we are going to say is that after you finally get through the gnarled finger stairway, you come across it is about 10 foot wide, so a bridge. On each side there is water. It's about 30 feet long, and there is a doorway in front of it. And just to keep everything as fair
Are you
as
recording?
I can...
You're recording.
Oh, I'm just going to have to pull this off of Twitch later because the computer blinking out messed it all up. So,
Okay.
Worst case, this will be the lost episode. But nothing I can do about that yet. Get out of my way, Razor. That's okay. So we're going to keep this in the order you guys were all in before. The only person who's taken any actual damage has been Joseph. Joseph, there, like I said, you can the power is behind that door. All you gotta do is run for it. It's about 30 foot long, 15 foot wide with water on each side.
I am going to I'm going to put on my sleeping mask of blind sight.
Okay.
And I'm just going to start slowly walking along this bridge.
Okay. That's your turn. Vivi?
Vivi is going to follow behind Joseph.
Okay. I like how these two are racing for power, but they're doing it very slowly. Gyleth, they are walking very slowly. Even you were connected to the power longer than anybody. You can sense it behind that doorway.
Please, ladies, let me go first.
No.
please.
No.
Ready, please.
You said no.
Yeah, I'm dead. No,
Mr.
fuck.
No appears before you all.
Vivi looks at the two of you, salutes, and goes, "Oh, nice knowing you."
And let me roll initiative for Mr. No. Not great. He got a 5, so we'll put him after Gylith. I'm just rolling for one other thing. Okay. Mr. No is going to... I'm going to say that he appeared in your midst. Vivi was the one who summoned him, so he is going to attack him first. That wasn't great. Does a 15 hit?
No.
Okay. Then that doesn't hit either. He takes 2 swings at you, but he misses both of them.
You see Vivi basically spinning his scythe around as blocking.
And that means, Joseph, it is your turn. Mr. No has appeared to kill your... I don't know if I can say friends right now. I don't know where your mindset is at. He's focusing on Vivi, anyways.
This is a 10 foot wide sort of thing, right?
Yes, you can go past him without having to incur his wrath.
I'm just going to motion for Gylith to follow me, and I'm going to head towards the door.
Okay. So are you just going to keep creeping slowly?
I'm going to take off my blind sight mask. I'm going to lower the blind sight mask, and I'm going to come up to the door.
Okay. After you get past the halfway point, the water starts to boil as this huge monstrosity that looks like it is made out of withered fingers. Oh, good. I do have a picture of this one I can send you.
That's absolutely fantastic.
Because, let me get open the right one. Everything's in different orders. You get to face off against Mr. Fingers now. It is an outright nightmare brought to life. It's a whole bunch of, it's multiple hands that are supporting a body. This thing should not exist in nature in any way. In fact, it is so poorly designed that you can hear its bones breaking as it tries to support itself on these twisted, gnarled hands that all come to almost I would almost say snake-like body.
I just pull out my rapiers, look back to Gylith, and go, "I must fight Wither's final form." Go forth and rule.
Carlos is almost in tears at this moment because he's just like everything is connecting. He's like, is this?
Joseph, you do have a full action if you want to attack this thing.
I am going to... With how unstable this thing is, can I trip it up?
You can certainly make an athletics check and try. This would be an opposed athletics check.
8.
8.
Yep.
So you describe to me how you attempt to knock this thing off.
I tried to slide kick it like I'm a soccer player who is on the Brazilian football team.
Okay. Yep, that. All right, you attempt that, but with an 8, you kind of trip over your own feet and you slide. You do hit it, just not with the force you wanted to. Make a Constitution save for me.
13.
13. All right, I'm just going to double check the stat block I picked for this thing. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that was not good enough. So you're going to take the full... Ooh, yeah. Sorry about this. 18 points of poison damage. No, sorry, acid damage. As the corrosion disease on this thing starts to eat at you for touching it. Vivi. There's fights all around, but yours is with Mr. No.
Vivi looks at Mr. No and goes, "Well, nice knowing you," and he disappears.
Okay.
And then he's going to dash towards the door.
All right. The finger monstrosity takes up a lot of space. If you want to dash, you're going to risk touching it. If you move slowly, you'll have an advantage on getting around it. But if you dash,
I'll move normally.
Okay, then go ahead and make a dex check, just a regular dex check.
Dex check. Well, acrobatics?
No acrobatics.
Okay. You said I had advantage, right?
You do not have advantage. You're going normal speed.
Okay. That's an 18.
18. All right, you are able to slide around it. We are going to say that if you decide to dash from this point, you can make it to the doorway, but that will use all of your action, and they'll use your full round.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Gilith. Joseph has just sworn to battle this monstrosity by himself and told you to go on.
Internally, it is where it's like, from the earlier meeting, he expected, like, Joseph to be different and to be a change, and it's just like try to waited for a moment to strike the so-called friend, and seeing that, it's just like he obeys not because it's the king that made an order. He obeys because he feels that it was the pure Joseph wishes.
Okay.
And he's just gonna channel wherever the source of the powers of the well, and he's gonna go towards it.
Okay. You were already on the other side of Mr. Finger, so you don't need to make a save. You can go. I will say you could use your movement to get through the door that Vivi had to stop in front of.
Gotcha.
So you go through the door, and this is where there's going to be a little bit of a puzzle. I know I told you guys you could pick one of the two, but they're kind of combined.
Yes.
You entered this room. It is a square room, and there are... I'm not able to show you the picture, but basically, let's say every 5 feet square, there's going to be... you're going to be stopped. And a gargoyle at the center. It's like a big throne with a gargoyle built into it. And it will tell you, your goal is to get to the top spot. The white squares are about physicality. The gray squares are about entertainment. Succeed to continue. As you enter the first square, it is a gray one. They are going to be alternating gray and white. The first square. Tell me your full name.
My full name is Jarlath Ator.
You are able to... That space is open now, but that was your turn.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. No, he did make an opportunity attack, but he couldn't. He missed Vivi because he was invisible. He's going to go after Joseph now, because Joseph is the only other person nearby. I assume a 21 hits you?
Yes, it does. Beats me by 5.
Okay, and where's the right die? I want to do this fairly. That will be 7 points of bludgeoning damage as he hits you with his massive fist. The next attack will be a 16 to hit.
That meets.
Okay, that just means he does hit you then. And you will take 10 points of bludgeoning damage. And then it's Mr. Finger's turn to hit you.
Like, Vivi doesn't feel guilty. Archers really does.
Yeah. All right. The first one was a 10 to hit, so I assume that doesn't hit. And then another 10. Mr. Fingers is so uncoordinated. Every time he tries to take a swipe, he breaks a bone and misses you. Joseph, it is your turn.
I'm going to kick Mr. No into Mr. Fingers.
Okay, that's going to be an opposed strength check once again.
$14.
He got a 19. You do not knock him over. So that was your action. You still have a bonus action.
Bonus action, disengage and step back.
Okay. Just like taking like a 5-foot step back.
My entire movement step back.
So that puts you at the door with Vivi. Gylith has just cleared the first space. Let me pull up this one. If I was smart, I would have actually given you this in a way you could see. Gylith, because you are on the first space, you can basically take. You can go to the left or you can go forward. You would need to clear out about 4 or 5 squares to get to this, to get to the center. Anybody who is following in a space that you've already completed is a free space. Anybody can move there. So basically, do you want space 1 or space 12?
Space 12.
Okay. Let me find 12. All right. Oh, good God. I mean, this is what the thing says. Show me where you were born. A map of the world appears in the air. You decide how you pick that out.
He will point in the land of Sword Coast in the town of Loudwater.
Okay. I assume that's where you were born.
Yes.
Okay. That means that there are 2 open spaces. Vivi, I did sort of jump over you. I apologize for that because you couldn't really move. You can now enter space 1.
Yep.
And if you want, you can take a new square, or you can stand behind Joseph. Gylith.
Yeah. I'm going to look at the squares and avoid the white ones.
It's not really a possibility. They're intermixed. You have to go from one to the other.
Okay.
So for you, is either you stay on A and wait and take 12 when he leaves, or you can go to space 1.
I'll go to space 1.
Okay, let me pull up that challenge. Hit this target with an arrow. A target appears in the first available square, and because you get all the tools you need to complete the test. So there's a bow and an arrow. There's literally a target appearing 1 square away from you. I'm going to say that's a disadvantage because choosing an arrow that close, unless you have a special feat, is a disadvantage.
Yeah. Is it hit the target with the arrow?
Yes.
He takes the arrow and pokes it in it.
Make like as if you were using a dagger.
Yeah.
But you did find a way around it.
Okay, so that's a 13.
Yeah. Okay. That you can move into square 1. All right. That now leaves us with Mr. Fingers, who is too big to fit through the doorway, but because Joseph is standing there, he can reach out and try to hit him. And that one's going to be a hit with like a 23, and you're going to get hit twice there. My apologies.
You do have uncanny dodge.
Yes. Do you want to use Uncanny Dodge on one of those? I forgot about that.
I need to see. In order for me to use Uncanny Dodge, I have to know what I'm being hit, the amount that I'm being hit with, in order to be
Okay.
able to.
The first one is going to be 13 slashing damage.
Okay.
And there's going to be more because of his touch, but I'm going to get that in a second. The second attack is 11 slashing damage. And I got to roll a lot of d10s now. I apologize for this. I didn't think you were going to be stacking up enemies quite this fast. Oh, good God. 24 acid.
I'm down anyways, even with halving.
Okay. Yeah. Joseph just hit the floor. I will ignore the next attack then, because that would have been enough. All right. Let's see. Mr. No would be after you. Well, it would be... no, wait a minute. Mr. No would... I put him in the wrong spot. Anyway, yeah, we're going to say Mr. No is going to be following up after this. You guys just saw Joseph fall unconscious. He is within 5 feet of you. Vivi, it is now your turn. Sorry, Joseph, go ahead and give us your first death save.
What's going to be? Okay. How do I actually make this freaking thing? Death save.
We're going to go ahead and go on while you get that roll, because it's very anticlimactic just waiting for you to do a roll.
I rolled a 10.
Okay,
Nice.
that's
Enough.
a save.
Yeah.
It's on the edge, but it's a save.
Yeah.
Okay, that means Vivi, he is 5 feet away from you. You could pull him out of reach if you so choose, or you can move on to M or B spaces.
I will move on to B.
Okay, B. Recite a poem about penguins. I swear this is what Ellipse wrote out, guys.
Vivi stops to think. Also, penguins. I'm actually struggling here, which is quite ironic because I'm actually a poet. Just trying to figure
I'll
out.
let you make a. You can recite a poem, and if I like it or if I think it's acceptable, you succeed. Or you can roll charisma at disadvantage, and I will make up a DC.
No, I'll do the poem.
Okay.
Penguins. Tragedy is such a word, for they have wings. But fucking hell. So my brain, it's late here, so.
Yeah.
Need a ringer.
No, because of that, I will say the pathway does not open up to you. You can try again on your turn. Now, let's go back to...
My brain.
Gilith, you were on 12. That means you can take L or M spaces.
I'll go with L.
Okay. L is for the way you look. No. L, what is the scariest thing you've ever seen?
Scariest thing that Jolly's ever seen. Yes, like when she's calm.
That's a good one.
The pathway is open to you. I also would have accepted that, just pointing out the door. Okay, now is Mr. No's turn, and he can just follow straight after Vivi because there is a clear path. once he gets around Mr. Fingers. So he's going to attack Vivi, but not very well. That was a 10 and a 17.
It meets.
Okay, that is a hit then. Let me find the D8. I just had a D8. Come here, D8. There you are. All right, that will be 7 points of bludgeoning damage to you. And that is his full turn. I'm going to be nice and say that Mr. Fingers isn't going to club a downed opponent because there's enough going on. So, Joseph, give us a death save.
4.
Okay, that's 1 fail, 1 success. Vivi, we are back to you. Mr. No is right behind you. You are still able to select M or B for your challenge.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna basically turn around, face Mr. No,
Yes.
step back onto the one I did before.
I mean, he's blocking your path, so it's not really able. You're not really able to move. You can
No,
go through him.
No, I'm basically turning around to face him.
Oh, okay. Now I understand.
Then I'm stepping back. That's stepping back to the one I was on before.
Okay. So,
and he just goes, penguins, a tragedy also I've heard, for they have wings, but they are a flightless bird. Never have I wished, whatever I wished to know, give such freedom. Except, fuck, I had this in my head.
you were so close.
About freedom, just like me and this. Fuck, I threw my lines.
You are under pressure as you are being assaulted while you're trying to recite this.
Yeah,
but
I'll get out. May I make one amendment?
Okay.
Penguins are tragedy, so I've heard. For they have wings, but they are flightless bird. But the tragedy is nothing compared to this you said, as he points to Mr. No.
I will accept that. That is a lovely poem. You can step onto platform B.
Yeah, and then he takes as he does, he takes a swing and steps back.
Okay. Because he is he has a 5-foot reach, so you technically haven't exited his attack range yet, so there's no attack of opportunity. But I'm going to say because you had to try a couple of times, you don't get to attack him. But
okay.
You do clear up another space though.
Yeah.
All right. And Gilith, you had taken space M. You may choose 20 or 13. Either one will open up a space to the power source.
Go with 13.
13. An ominous choice if ever there was one. Let's see what it says. Do a spin kick.
Give me a moment. Clear out the room. Hang on, let me move the chair.
Actually going to do it. This mad lad.
Now, is there a strict definition on spin kick?
No, it just says the words "do a spin kick." So I guess basically you're impressing me here.
Just gonna make sure I got a good range of motion, nothing in the way. All right, good. So we're just gonna do a 180 spin.
And I was about to say this is how he dies.
Go for a block. Spin. There we go.
You know, because I see the confines of your space, I'm going to allow that.
Thank you.
Space 13 is open up to you now. is Mr. No's turn. He is going to make another attack on Vivi. A 14.
Nope.
And a 15.
Nope.
Okay. What is your AC? Just curious.
17.
Okay. All right. Well, he missed you twice, and you... Well, Gileth just opened up space 13. All you have to do is go through him, which is an extra 5 feet of movement. So
I'll do that.
Gileth, are you going to oppose him going through your space?
Oh, heck yeah.
Okay, in that case, I guess that would be a grapple check.
Gladly. Rolled a 9 on that one.
And Vivi, what did you roll to oppose this grapple?
I rolled a 11 on acrobatics.
Okay, that's you just barely beat him, but you do beat him. You can make a run for the power source. It's
Indeed.
still about 10 feet, but I'm
And
going to
the bonus
say
action-
I will say you get to the head start. Joseph, do you Gileth, do you wish to chase after him?
I'm going to use the spell Silvery Barbs, so he has to re-roll.
Oh,
Okay. That's a 22.
Dang it. There's a moment it's like, don't you dare.
the other half of Silvery Barbs, you give someone else advantage, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
but
then I choose a different creature within range, and the chosen creature has advantage on the next attack roll ability check a saving throw within 1 minute.
okay.
all
But
that.
with a 22, I think that that clearly lets Vivi make a run for the seat of power unopposed.
Yeah. And I'm going to bonus action dash.
Okay. I'm going to say that's your full action, so you're right in front of the seat. And I'm just doing this for dramatic purposes. That means we go back to Joseph making his death save.
Failed again.
Okay. Gileth, did you want to grant him the advantage, or can you grant it to yourself?
Let's see, let me reread the spell. I choose a different creature, so I would give it to myself.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. In that case, it would be Vivi's turn. Vivi, you are in front of the source of the power. What do you want to do?
Evie's going in.
Could you please describe that more? Are you just sitting down and claiming the power?
Vivi is standing there smiling. He wants to claim this power, but this power is too dangerous. So you actually see him reach into his inside pocket,
Mm-hmm.
and he pulls out a pumpkin.
Mother fudger.
And he smashes the pumpkin on the floor.
All right, I've got a couple of questions. I got a question, and then I will decide how things proceed. What is your personal intent by smashing this pumpkin?
To call forth Jack-o'-lantern.
Okay. You're just going to let him take the power?
I'm asking him to destroy the power.
Okay. I want you to make... I will allow this to be a wisdom save for you.
That's a 9.
A 9.
Yeah.
You all hear this horrifying, ominous laugh, and everything goes black. And we're going to end today's episode right there, ladies and gentlemen, because I can't think of a better punishment for these people than to just cut it right there. Maybe if you had made that save, you would know what happens. Thank you, everyone, for sticking through us with the technical difficulties. I want to thank my players, uh, mostly Crumpler64 Jesse, for being the one to cause the least problems for me this month, this whole month.
You make it sound like I have a quota.
You know,
I definitely treat it like I do.
yeah. Next up, I would like to thank Arshis for doing his best to resolve the chaos that was created in his own way. He was mostly successful in that. And finally, I reluctantly have to acknowledge Kyle playing Joseph Lucerno, who kickstarted one of the worst DMing moments of my life when he said, "I give in to the power and make a run for it." No, the truth is, I love you all as players. I tolerate you as friends sometimes. Tell everybody where they can find you on the internet, and then I'll decide what's going to happen next time we play.
I'm Kyle Trist. I'm Kyle. You can catch me here on Twitch on under Flint Ewood 756, as well as Flint Ewood 756 on Twitter, where I'm generally less of a god of chaos. Other than that, yeah, whichever of you two want to take on next.
Hi, I'm Ashes. I am the man who does his best, but can often cause insanity in many other people. If I was a D&D player, my presence would cause psychic damage every time I spoke. You can find me on Twitter at Archers and you can also find me on Discord if you want a natter. I promise, since we're not in D&D, you won't be taking psychic damage.
And hi, I'm Jesse Crump, also known as Crump64. You can find me using that handle at Crump64 on almost every platform: Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and all the sorts. In terms of any upcoming projects, everything is basically on hold as I'm basically trying to get it caught up on life. We're working 2 jobs. But anyways, I just want to thank everyone for their continued support and patience while I go in this hiatus for this time being.
And lastly, I am Andy. I am Warp Films everywhere online. Most of my work away from D&D is on TikTok right now because I'm hoping that my life's going to take some changes in the next couple of months, and I will get a better filming space. But thank you so much for joining us. And when we come back in a couple of weeks, we're going to be starting up a new arc, and I've really been looking forward to doing something new, and I can't wait to just leave these 3 in the dark for a while, because I feel it's what they deserve. Okay, maybe not Jesse. I'll tell Jesse what's going on later. No, truth is, I don't fully know myself what's going to happen, and that's sometimes some of the most fun you can have when you don't know what's about to occur. But Trick Roll will be starting up a brand new arc soon. Got some guest players lined up. Can't wait to bring them all in and subject them to us. So until then, be well, take care, and as Jesse said, thank you for your continued support for all of us as we just try to survive life. Farewell.